When you live in poverty and face daily uncertainty, when an incurable illness brings you face to face with death, when love and trust are shattered between you and those closest to you, how can you possibly endure such pain? In this sixth episode of The Hidden Smile of God, we'll reflect on the life of the suffering missionary David Brainerd, a man who did not run from affliction, but walked straight through it with unwavering hope in God, revealing his glory to the world. David Brainerd was a young missionary during America's colonial era. He dedicated his brief life to preaching the gospel to the Native Americans, dying at just 29 years old. Though his life was short, his journal, the Diary of David Brainerd, deeply impacted generations of missionaries after him. Great men like William Carey, Henry Martyn, Adoniram Judson, and Jim Elliot were all inspired by Brainerd's testimony, a witness to the power of God revealed through suffering. He did not escape pain. He met it, and through it, he saw the glory of God. From a young age, Brainerd was known for his tender conscience and his deep self-examination before God. But Satan twisted that very zeal into a weapon against him. At 21, while studying at Yale College, he remarked, "Unlike some of my classmates, I am a true believer." That single statement cost him dearly. He was expelled from the school. The wound was deep. For years, he wrestled with guilt, self-hatred, and spiritual depression. In his journal, he once wrote, "I do not love God. My heart is so cold. I feel no life within my soul." Yet that season of despair led him to discover this truth. Grace alone is his only hope. Later, he confessed, "I found no goodness in myself, none at all. Only the blood and righteousness of Christ became the ground of my life." Like the rich young ruler in the Gospels who turned away when Jesus said, "Sell what you have and follow me," Brainerd chose the opposite path. He let go of everything he once took pride in, even his own moral purity, and followed Christ. He placed his realistic hope in heavenly treasure and gave all he had to the poor in spirit. Brainerd was called to serve as a missionary to the Native Americans. He lived among them in poverty, sickness, and isolation. He once wrote, "I am lonely, sick, and poor, yet my soul burns within me for God." From the age of 24, he rode his horse through the wilderness of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, preaching to the Delaware tribes. He often traveled long distances in freezing weather, sleeping in open fields covered with snow. As tuberculosis consumed his body, he continued to preach, even while coughing up blood. "Many times I thought I would fall off my horse from coughing," he wrote, "but no one will stop my mouth from declaring the gospel." He summarized his mission this way, "My life is like a candle burning away, but if it gives light to Christ, I will gladly burn." His hope in the treasures of heaven became the driving power that carried him forward. Brainerd's diary is filled with descriptions of pain, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Yet within that pain, there are surprising glimpses of joy. He wrote, "Today I was in deep anguish, yet I felt a sweetness I cannot describe. I knew that God was holding me." This sweet sorrow became the hallmark of his spiritual life. As his body weakened, his soul grew more sensitive to the presence of God. He confessed, "I long to leave all things of this world behind and be nearer to my Lord. Only God is my rest." Before his death, Brainerd stayed in the home of Jonathan Edwards, the great theologian of New England. Edwards cared for him until his final breath and later published his diary as The Life and Diary of David Brainerd. In the preface, Edwards wrote, "In Brainerd's life, I saw how true piety and holy passion can exist together in their deepest form. His suffering was not in vain. His flame, though brief, set generations on fire." That book became known as the textbook of revival through suffering. Brainerd's life was imperfect. He battled depression, sickness, and despair. Yet it was in that very weakness that his hope in God shone brightest. His hope was not blind optimism about the future. It was the assurance of resurrection. He did not fear being weak, for he had learned the secret. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." On October 9, 1747, David Brainerd passed away at the age of 29. His final words were, "I rest forever in the Lord." He was buried beside Jerusha Edwards, Jonathan Edwards' daughter, who had cared for him and later died of illness. Their shared tombstone bears these words, "They lived for eternity." David Brainerd lived like a burning candle, and his flame has never gone out. Through his suffering, he became a living testimony to what true hope really means. My body is sick, but my soul is strong in God. For when I am weak, then Christ is strong in me. In our next and final episode of The Hidden Smile of God, we'll reflect once more on the lives of John Bunyan, William Cowper, and David Brainerd, and see how, behind the frowning face of suffering, God's hidden smile still shines. Thank you for watching.